Anna, a single woman, is having a glass of wine before going to bed when the story begins. But when she lifts her head, she sees someone killing her friend by choking her. At first, she thinks she is dreaming, but when she looks more closely, she sees that the friend is being killed. In fact, Anna grabs her phone and calls to let them know. Then she chooses to run out of the house, but it's raining. Her legs get weaker and weaker, and Anna falls to the ground in a strange way. As she closes her eyes, the scene jumps back in time to a time when Anna's family was happy. She was happy with her husband and loved her daughter. One day, the school gives them an assignment: parents to take their kids to work so they can see what it's like there. So, Douglas, the father, takes their daughter Elizabeth to work with him. Rain starts to fall before they leave, so Anna buys Elizabeth an umbrella, but she had no idea that it would be the last time she saw him. Douglas is a forensic therapist who has studied serial killers for a long time. He takes Elizabeth to jail with him and puts her in a room where he can check on her. Right before the test starts, the guard asked Douglas to leave the room because there was something important going on. Then he shuts the door and locks the room by accident, but Douglas didn't remember that. Massacre Mike, a serial killer, is in the same room as his daughter. Not surprisingly, Mike makes the most of the chance and chooses Elizabeth as his 31st target. Anna's marriage to her husband fell apart after their daughter was killed, and as a result, the couple broke up. Anna has had a hard time getting over what happened, even though it's been a few years. And even worse, it was raining on that day, so she now has a fear of rain. To get over losing her daughter and her marriage falling apart, Anna is back to drinking wine every day. Anna's mind has been hurt by her sadness, and she says that sometimes she hears things and sees her dead daughter Elizabeth around the house. This has made her even more of a stranger in the neighborhood. The only guy she can trust is Buell, the community's handyman. He fixes broken mailboxes better than anyone else. Anna hasn't been on a date in a while, but one day, a handsome guy named Neil Coleman asked her out. When he moves into the house across the street, he has a crush on him right away. Neil is also a widower, and his daughter, Emma, is 9 years old, so she makes friends with Neil's daughter to get closer to him. But she soon finds out that Neil is dating a beautiful flight attendant. Anna feels bad about flirting with Neil, so she chooses to stop. She still keeps an eye on Neil and his family, though. She sees Lisa being killed one night while she is drinking wine. Lisa can't be saved because she faints on the road because she's afraid of rain. Unexpectedly, a mystery person watches the whole thing and picks her up. Anna wakes up on her sofa, which is drenched. Anna had already called the cops, so they came and check out Neil's house. They don't find any dead bodies, though. Neil says that Lisa is a flight attendant who is now working on a plane, and Lisa confirms this. The city of Seattle. The cops then ask Anna about what happened, and when they see a bottle of wine and a pill on her table, they think she must have been dreaming and leave. But Anna knew she wasn't making things up, so the next morning, Neil and she talk. But like the others, Neil says Lisa is still out there, still living. He even shows some of the text messages he sent to Lisa this morning. Anna is still not sure, even though there is a lot of proof. She breaks into their house to look for more proof when they go to the store. Right by the window, she finds Lisa's earrings and keeps them with her, but she needs to find something else first. Neil and Emma come back home and catch her in the act. Then she is yelled at by the father and daughter for going beyond her limits, and then she was kicked out of the house. Anna goes to her friend Sloan, upset and ashamed, and tells him what happened. She tries to get help to examine the scene of the crime. Sloan also thinks she was dreaming, which makes her sad, and adding that she often sees her dead daughter. Anna starts to think that she is really seeing things, so she chooses to stop doing it. After her daughter died, she joined a support group and went there to talk. After that, Anna decides that she needs to get out of town after the meeting. At the airport, however, as she waits to buy a ticket, she finds out that there haven't been any trips to Seattle this coming week. Lisa had already left the day before for Seattle. She also finds out that Lisa is taking a long break. When Anna hears this, she starts to think that Neil killed his girlfriend. She goes to the police office in her town and talks to a detective named Lane. She shows Lisa's earring and asks the cop to look into it, but Lane says that there is not enough proof. Anna feels sad when she leaves the police office. Despite this, she keeps looking into it. When Elizabeth, Neil's daughter, was born, when a friend comes over to sell cookies, she earns her trust by giving her a lot of money. Anna asks the little girl if she heard anything strange the night before. Before the cops got there, Elizabeth isn't very talkative, but she says that her dad and Lisa were always fighting, and that's why she didn't like her. Neil had told her to turn on the TV. Because of this, Anna has even more doubts about Neil. She looked up Neil on the internet the next morning. She is shocked to find Neil was the main person to blame for the death of his late wife, but because there wasn't enough proof, he was let out. Some people say that he threw his wife into the water and watched as she died. Anna, who tends to think too much, starts to imagine the whole thing. Neil brought her wife to the docks, where he started acting mean to her for no reason. Then, while their daughter watched, he threw her into the water and laughed as she died. Even though it was all in her head, Anna thinks she can trust her gut. Anna also finds out that Emma's teacher died in a strange way a few days after Neil's wife was killed. Emma and her friends were on a school trip when the teacher, for some reason, disappeared. In a strange way, Neil is the only dad in the group shot. Anna thinks about what could have happened back then once more. She thinks that Neil knew the teacher and was friends with her, but the teacher turned them all down, so he pushed her down to her death in a fit of anger. Anna is more and more sure that Neil is to blame for all these deaths. She digs deeper into the case. That night, she sees Neil pulling a big duffel bag toward her, so she jumps in quickly, her car, and starts secretly following him. They come to an alley that looks shady, where Neil pulls over, gets out of his car, and puts the duffel bag near a trash can. But before Anna could do anything, Neil saw her and they started fighting. Anna says that Neil is upset that people are always watching him and accusing him of being a killer. Anna wants to know the truth so badly that she opens the duffel bag. She finds a person, but not a real one. It was just a doll. Then it comes out that, to deal with the death of his wife, Neil started doing ventriloquism as a hobby. On the weekends, he goes to bars to sing and make people happy. Anna is ashamed again, and she says she's sorry a lot before leaving. Anna understands that she needs to stop having these dreams when she sees how obsessed she has been lately. So, she pours all of her drinks down the drain. She knows how hard Neil has had it. He deals with his losses by doing ventriloquism as a hobby, so she needs to do the same. She begins painting so she wouldn't think about her daughter's past. She starts a new life as the days go by, until one night, a wild dog somewhere far away finds Lisa's dead body in the woods. This proves that Anna wasn't really seeing things after all. The cops find the body the same night and arrest Anna, as her drawing brush was found to be a murder weapon. The cops have a feeling that Anna killed Neil's girlfriend because she was jealous of her, which makes sense. Anna is shocked, but she has no way to prove that she is not guilty. Lucky for her, her best friend showed up the next day. Sloane saves her and lets her go free on bail. Anna goes home, and that night she starts having dreams again. She sees blood dripping from her attic and knows right away that it came from her husband. She feels scared and calls her ex-husband, Douglas, who is a therapist. Anna fills him in on the blood and the fact that she could have been the one who killed Lisa. Even though they've been separated for years, Douglas calms down his ex-wife and tells her to keep going, to go up to the attic and face what she was afraid of. Anna is at first wary, but after a lot of pressure, she agrees. She slowly makes her way to the attic, where she is relieved to find that the red stuff hasn't spread. She also finds out that someone has been living in her attic for some time. When she questions him, a scared Bill tells her that he has been living there in secret for months. Anna has been hearing things around the house because of this. After a while, she calls Douglas again and tells him what's going on. Buell was his first case with a mental illness. He was in jail because he had killed his whole family. After many tests, he was said to be crazy, but Douglas helped him get better. A few months later, he was finally let out of jail. Douglas pushed him to work as well, so he started working as a handyman. When Anna hears all of this, she thinks that Buell's evil side has come back, and now he's killing people one by one. She can't believe it when she sees Buell carrying a hammer as he walks through the rain to Neil's house. She runs outside because she is afraid the killer will kill Neil. Anna gives in to her fear and falls to the ground, but just before she gives up, she suddenly finds herself in the jail cell just before her daughter Elizabeth does. Massacre Mike shot and killed him. She also remembers that no one helped her little girl. After remembering all of these things, Anna is determined not to let another little girl die, killed by a sick serial killer. So she slowly makes her way to Emma's house and gets into it, but what she sees there shakes her to her very core. Anna finds Buell lying near the door, badly hurt. Anna's package had been sent to her by mistake. Soon, he dies, and Anna feels awful for him, even thinking that Buell did it when he has tried so hard to change. She hears Neil and Emma talking in the living room at that moment, having the idea that Neil is the serial killer. Anna moves quickly to help the little girl, But to her surprise, Neil is dead on the couch when she comes home. This is when Anna finally figures out that Lisa was killed, but neither Neil nor Bill did it. Emma is found to be the criminal, who comes out from behind holding a bloody knife and grinning evilly. Emma talks about that adults always think too little of children and what they can do. Anna, who is shocked, asks Emma how and why she killed Lisa, and then, like most bad people, she admits to her crimes. In a memory, we then see that Emma asked Lisa to stay with her before she went to the airport. This made Emma very angry, so she went up to Lisa with a knife and said, "Chocolate is mine." Not the worst thing someone can put in their body before stabbing Lisa in the neck. Anna is confused because Neil was also at home when Lisa was killed, but he didn't do anything. Nothing at all. Emma says that Neil was in the bathroom on the second floor. He didn't want anyone to see him practice his ventriloquist act, so he left the water running. She also says that she killed her father because Neil forced her to watch one of his movies. Terrible acts by a ventriloquist. Anna calls her a monster because she is horrified by how cruel she is. But Emma quickly says that her mother was the monster, not her. The bad woman became pregnant. Emma didn't like that at all because she wanted all the attention for herself, and Emma used the whole summer to finish off her mother and her baby brother or sister, taking down a dock's wooden platform when her trip was over. She got her mother to come over to the thin platform, as was planned. The poor woman fell into the water, but Emma was so cruel that she just let her die. Emma wants to kill Anna and make it look like she did all the killings, and say she killed Anna to protect herself. What Emma says is Anna is the right person to blame because it's easy to label her as crazy. It also turns out that when Emma went to Anna's house to sell her Girl Scout cookies, she took Anna's palette knife. Anna can't believe how much the little girl has planned, so she calls her crazy. Even so, this makes Emma even more angry, and she says that her teacher also used to call her names. Her crazy until she killed her by pushing her off the tower. After she says this, she throws a knife at Anna, and even gets a knife in her stomach. Anna is able to fight back though. The house gets messed up. Anna tries to find Neil's gun. Emma is the first to find it, and she shoots her in the shoulder. Anna is angry and calls her a whore. He runs at her and hits her hard enough to knock the gun out of her hand, but the psychopathic person, girl again, gets the upper hand and smashes a plate on Anna's head, which seems to kill her. In the meantime, Douglas goes to Anna's house out of worry for her safety, as he can't reach her since she found Buell living in her attic, and he can't get there. Emma calls 911 and tells the operator she killed her mother. After her father was killed by her crazy neighbor, she killed him to protect herself. But at that time, Anna starts to move again, which shows that she is still living. So angry, Emma quickly ends the call and picks up the knife to kill Anna for good. She sits on top of her target, and as she's about to deal the finishing blow, Anna picks up a piece of broken plate and stabs Emma in the heart, killing her for good. Then he runs to Anna's side and asks her to stay with him, telling her that everything will be fine. A few weeks after the crime, Anna is found not guilty because Douglas lied. There was a lot of evidence against Emma, but there was also a lot of evidence in her favor. 1 year later, we see Anna again as she gets on a plane to New York, and our character orders a glass of vodka with a smile. Woman who tells Anna she's going to New York for something she doesn't say. Even so, Anna takes a short nap. When she wakes up, she finds the stranger dead in the bathroom on an airplane. She tells the staff about it right away, but to her shock, they say that there was no one sitting in seat 2A. In addition, there was no body or any sign of the crime in the bathroom. Thanks for watching. Click this video to enjoy another best movie explained in less time. You wouldn't want to miss its shocking and surprising ending.